Welcome back, guys. I want to talk to you today about clothing, outdoor clothing. It's your first layer of defence from the elements, and this is what I recommend. This is what I wear on a day-to-day basis through the seasons, you know, mixing and matching my different outfits. So a base layer, it's autumn now, but it's a lovely day. I'm wearing a base layer, and this base layer is made by Reed. For weight to warmth ratio is awesome. It weighs next to nothing. You hardly know you got it on, but it's so warm. And when you're hiking or going out walking or whatever you're doing, or working around camp and you're building up sweat, just wicks that sweat away. Synthetic material, it's just been brilliant. High neck as well, just keeps you really warm. When I bought this, I bought the Reed hat. It's got the same properties, great for wicking sweat. So that's kind of my base layer on my core, and I love layering up. So if it did get chilly later on, which it will, then I'll put on a more natural garment, which is made of wool. This is made by Petromax, and you see me wearing this one a lot. So this jacket is pure sheep's wool, so it's a real natural product. Same again, it's really light, it doesn't weigh too much, it's so comfortable to wear. You can sit round the fire in it, and it's all spark resistant because it's wool. So it's water resistant, it's not waterproof, but I've been out in downpours in it, and you know, it does soak in, but it dries. You can wring it out and it dries reasonably fast. It's got loads and loads of pockets, 2 chest pockets there in the front, which also gives you air and ventilation when you're walking or working around camp. It's got an awesome hood, and once your head's covered, especially with the Reed hat, it just builds up so much heat. But it's such a robust jacket, you can, you know, really punish it, and it just looks as good as the day you got it. So that's the inside. It's lined with a breathable fabric, but that is, if you like pure garments, then this could be the one for you. Great colour as well. Yes, if you like the outdoors like me, I like blending in. Around the waist it's got toggles, so you can tighten and loosen depending on the conditions and how you want to wear the garment. They're great, really easy to use zippers when your hands are cold, which I find really important in a jacket. You don't want to be faffing around trying to do your zip up. 2-way zipper as well, you know, if you want to vent out or you need to get something from your base layer or something. So what I've got on now with the base layer, the Reed hat on my core, is quite sufficient. You can go out in a, you know, in some cold temperatures depending on what you're doing, and you'll stay warm. So if the temperature is really cold, you know, with a big wind chill, talking kind of minus temperatures, or if it's a bit damp, then I'll put on me army surplus jacket over the top of there. So now I've got 3 layers on, which is pretty much all you need. You can go out pretty much with these 3 layers that I wear in any condition, apart from when you get a huge downpour. But this is water repellent, but now I've got these 3 on, really protected from the elements. And the thing I like about this jacket, it's got so many pockets. So if you're going out and you've got your bits and pieces, you've got pockets everywhere. And I've got 3 layers on my head. No heat's escaping at all out my head. And what with that great base layer and the wool underneath, you know, if I do start sweating, it's going to just wick away that moisture and I'm not going to be wringing wet inside. Years ago I used to buy clothing that wasn't really natural or, you know, built for wicking away sweat, and you just open your clothes up and you're wringing wet. And then if the weather does drop or you get a frost and you're still in that clothing, you know, you're in serious trouble. So make sure when you buy your clothing it's got great wicking material, especially your base layer. This top layer really works for me. And then my 4th layer, if it's really cold or if it's not too cold, I'll just take this off and I'll put this on over the top of my Petromax, which I normally do, is my military poncho, and that makes you totally waterproof. You just go out in any condition, any downpour, and it's not going to let any water in. This all unclips and you can make a tarp out of this. So it's such a practical piece of kit. The only thing with this is you just build up a bit of sweat in there, but because I've got the wool garment, which I normally wear underneath it, you know, it wicks away that sweat. And like I said in the beginning, this is your first layer of defence. Your clothing is so important when you're outside. It's got to be robust, it's got to be waterproof, it's got to be lightweight enough to operate. It's got to be quite flexible so you can move around if you're doing tasks, and very important, it's got to wick away sweat and moisture. And also I swap out, I've got my nice woolly hat with my logo on. I wear this quite a bit as well, so I kind of mix and match. If it's really cold, the thing with that reed hat, you can put that over here, then whack that over the top, and you know, I like mix and matching with my clothes and building up as a nice layer of insulation, so you're not feeling that cold weather, especially when it's windy. Another one of my tops that I really find warm and great in the outdoors is the Army Surplus Norgi top. So this is great. I'm wearing this today over the top of my reed, but this is a practical top again, synthetic, but this has reasonable wicking properties, but it's lovely and warm and very, very comfortable. And I love the fleece feel when you just wear it on its own. Feels really nice against your skin. Same again, a great high neck on it, and you have the finger loops. Also like the long back. You're sitting around camp or sitting on cold equipment, you know, it's covering your bum. So it's a great cut on here. Same again, nice colour, and quite robust top. Put this through its paces. So this is Army Surplus again, so I kind of mix and match Army Surplus gear with other good gear that I can find. Lovely and lightweight for the amount of warmth it puts out. You don't want a big heavy stuffy top that gives out no warmth. Just keep your layers light and minimal with maximum amount of heat. So pants are important. I have these These are quite new. I used to run Far Raven, but I find these so far a better brand. I find them really comfortable. They've got a great fit. They're triple stitched. They've got multiple pockets, and the thing I like, they've got rear pockets as well, which the Vida Pros don't have. You've got a pad for the insert for the knee, drawstring bottoms, which is pretty good. So you can just tighten it depending on what clothing you're wearing. And I find it really important with the adjustable leg, because if you're doing chopping or chainsaw work, you don't want all the debris going in your boot, so you want that overhang over your boot as such, so you're getting no debris in your boot. But the pockets on these are amazing. They're all Velcro and zipped with YKK zippers, so they're a strong pant. And I do, you know, I do like messing about in the woodland, and the thing that normally goes is the knees, and I think they're really good quality. They're reinforced knees and triple stitched, so can't say enough about these. I haven't worn them for really long like I do the Vida Pros, but I've had them a good couple of months and they're performing really well, and I really like the comfortability of them. And they're Teflon coated as well, so you're not going to get all that staining and marking, so you can get away with wearing them for quite a while. Buster, go over there. So you can, you know, you can wear these trousers for quite a while without them looking really, really grubby. You'll tend to, you know, have dirty hands and you're wiping them on your trousers. So very nice pants, trousers, pants. They're quite warm as well. The difference between these and a Vida Pro, you can wax the Vida Pro, you know, and waterproof them up, which adds a lot of weight and warmth to them. And then obviously as you wash it, the wax comes off and they become lightweight and suitable for like warmer seasons. But so far, wearing these, I think these are a better pant than the Vida Pro that I had. And they've got loops here which are really good for attaching bits and pieces. Huge great pockets, getting all your bits and pieces in, you know what we're like for carrying stuff. And on the waist it's got an expandable waist, so you've got a bit of give in the trousers, you know, when you've eaten or you're stretching, it just gives you that bit of give. That's what makes them really comfortable. I think they look a great pant as well. These are coyote brown, so these are the Hardland men's tactical ripstop pants. So in conjunction with what I'm wearing on the top, I just know I can go out and I'm not gonna rip or damage any of my clothing because it's so robust and durable. So that's really important when you're choosing your clothing. Is it going to be up for task? You know, like what I do, I'm outside a hell of a lot and I'm doing all different things, stretching, you know, on my Land Rover, climbing up the ladder, doing wood preparation and carving and chainsaw work. It's just, clothing gets put through its paces, and I like clothing that you don't need to keep washing. You know, I can hang this Petromax jacket up after 10 days outside and it just smells as fresh as when I got it. So I've never washed this. It's great material. You can't beat, you know, a wool garment. And what with the trousers as well, don't tend to wash them a great deal, and they're still you know, they're still looking pretty good. Well, they're looking very good actually. Another thing I wear when I've got the poncho on, it's a long poncho, it kind of comes over my knees, and I wear my army surplus waterproof trousers. And if you're going to wear a poncho, make sure you have a pair of waterproof trousers or some gaiters at the bottom, just to stop all that water flow soaking you out at the bottom. Because they're so waterproof, they just shed water massively. You know, you're dry on top, but your boots are soaking wet and your bottom of your trousers are soaking wet. So don't forget your waterproof trousers or gaiters. So now we talk about my footwear, what I like. I own 3 sets of boots, and by far for winter conditions and wet conditions, the Lowa Hunter GTX Evo Extreme. And I've owned a lot of boots in my life, and these are my favourite. Inside they've got 200 grams of insulation, Primaloft insulation. So when I've been wearing these in the winter, they are so warm. The reason I bought them is because I read an article once of some guys went out in Alaska, and 2 guys had these boots on and the other guys had other brands on, and the other guys all come back with frostbite, and the 2 guys wearing these had no frostbite. So they're Goretex lined, which means that boot stays completely waterproof. I've had these probably now for around 3 years. I don't wear them until it gets, you know, really bad conditions or really cold, but when I wear them, I know my feet are well protected. So if you're looking for a pair of boots, in my opinion, to go outside and be comfortable in cold, wet conditions, then these get my double thumbs up. So when I go out with all my gear that I'm wearing now and these boots in cold, wet conditions, I know I'm going to be comfortable. I know I'm going to be warm. I know I'm not going to be sweating out. I know I'm not going to rip any of these garments. They're just, you know, bulletproof. I know I can sit around a fire when the fire's spitting, and I'm not going to burn my garments. You know, all this modern synthetic lightweight equipment is good for its purpose, but not, you know, when you're putting yourself outdoors and relying on it and sitting around fires and doing bushcraft tasks and things. But these, you know, these are a hunting boot. They're a heavy boot, but then you sacrifice the weight for the stability and the protection they give you, and the grip on these is, you know, is phenomenal. Nice pair of wool socks in with these, awesome. So get yourself a pair of wool socks as well, and maybe a pair of wool thermals, which I have, but I don't have the underwear, but I just wear the thermals. But you can, you know, get some underwear, wool undergarments, but definitely thermals. So when it's really cold, I haven't bought these today. I've got some Under Armour thermals, and they're good. And when I go, Buster, move a minute. And when it's really cold and I go, you know, into bed, I tend to wear a light thermal. So if you've got to get up at night out of your bag, you're not exposed straight away to that cold shock. And in the morning you can just, you know, leave them on or just quickly get changed into your warm garments. But it's definitely something to really consider, is your clothing. It's so important, and it just gives you that peace of mind and the confidence to go outside. And these are my second pair of boots. I wear these a lot, you know, when it's warmer condition. Alt-Bergs. they've been a great boot, very comfortable. Not the height of the GTX, a lot lighter for walking around in, and you know, obviously not as warm, not as durable, but then they're not getting as wet and as muddy this time of year. So they're a great boot. Alt-Berg's Army Surplus, not too expensive and very practical, waterproof as well. They do go well with the trousers. So I think I've pretty much covered my clothing. You know, I've got other garments at home, little bits and pieces, but predominantly this is what I wear, and I wear it all the time because it's so comfortable and so practical. I hope this has been helpful, and I'll see you on the next one, guys. Enjoy the great outdoors.